How are you doing? So I'm going to show you guys a stretch for your feet and for your calves. It's important to keep your feet and your calves flexible so that you have the mobility, not just for movement of the ankle, but actual knee and hip mobility. So if you want to be able to squat with your butt to your heels and you can't, chances are you're missing some calf mobility or calf flexibility. So here's a stretch for a particular calf muscle. There's two calf muscles that you have. One is the gastrocnemius and the other one is the soleus. Now, most of the time when people stretch, they use something like your foot on the curb or something like that, a band pulling on your foot, that's all fine. Now I'm going to show you a stretch that I want you to do using with your actual hands, your own hands, and it's a stretch for your soleus, for your inner calf muscle. It's important to stretch your inner calf muscle because when that muscle gets tight, that's what usually deviates the feet to turn out a lot more, so then you start putting a lot more strain on your foot. So your inner calf is responsible for the motion of you getting up on your toes when your legs are bent. Gastrocnemius works here, soleus works here. Now, when this inner calf muscle gets tight from somebody like riding a bicycle or something like that, or just throughout your everyday life, you get a lot more of this turned out foot position. So when you're walking forward, you're actually putting undue stress on your knee without realizing it, since your foot is pointed one way, but your stress and your force is in a different direction. All right, so the calf stretch I want you to learn is standing out straight like this on your heel. Make sure there's not a lot of weight on your heel, but the weight is on the back foot. All right, so I'm going to start to reach for my front toes. Now what you want to do is pull your toes back and flex the foot. This foot should be mildly mobile, like you can take the weight off of it. Now I'm going to reach all the way forward, and either with one hand or both if you can, grab your foot. Pull your chin forward, and it's not about bringing your head towards your foot, it's about pulling your toes towards your chin and your chin towards your face at the same time. So that's me pulling from both directions. This is the soleus stretch. Now, automatically, if you put your foot up against something and drive your hip, you'll be stretching your gastrocnemius. If you sit back and put the weight on your heel downward, you'll start to feel the stretch in your soleus. So it sits underneath the gastroc. Again, if you can't reach with both hands, start with one. You can, of course, grab something, but the more important thing is I want you to get to a point where you can pull your toes back. So this is crucial. Your foot mobility, plantar fasciitis and things like that will be improved, and you will feel better if you can actually get your toes to become more flexible. So of course, it's a stretch for the hamstring, a little bit inner thigh, so your sartorius and things like that are getting stretched out. But again, it's the heel down, pull back, reach for your toes. If you have your shoe, it'll be a lot easier for you to get all your toes to pull at the same time. Now, if you can get to a point where your chin lands on your foot, you'll pretty much have accomplished all you need for that particular stretch. So add that to your routine and you'll see it'll help with everything related to your foot mobility and less pain. Enjoy.